Hey, it's Adrienne, your mindfulness activist, out here in allergy season in my backyard. And when the sun is just right, I could be in the Mediterranean, but I'm not. I'm on the west coast of Sweden, and today it's a lovely day. So I decided to come and sit outside, and I wanted to share. It's not going to be the exact same thing, but a little affirmation from a meditation I did as part of a podcast recording with Kate Pearl, your girl Kate Pearl in the UK. We're in our season of healing racial trauma in the Black Women in Europe podcast. So we had another fantastic discussion today, and my part was to add I'm always adding a mindfulness practice at the end of our podcast. So today it was a meditation, and I'm just going to do part of the affirmation from it, because our topic today for this mindful moment is boundaries. You know, those good things that make you say no when it's something that you don't want to do. Those things that allow you to cut certain people out of your life, or you don't spend time with people if they don't respect your boundaries. So boundaries are a good thing to have. They can be hard to develop and maintain. So that's why we're going to do affirmations and talk about boundaries. Always, because it's like an exercise that you have to, it's like a muscle that you have to exercise. You know, you have to always practice saying no. No has been my word of the year since 2021. And it worked so well that I just carried it through. And here we are in 2025. So that being said, it doesn't mean that I always say no. But it makes me more aware of the times that I didn't say no when I should have. And sometimes it's not too late to go back and rectify something. But for example, it reminds me of today. I was on a meeting that took longer than I thought it would take. But it was such a joyful meeting, and I look forward to meeting with these people because it's something that I really wanted to do. So when you say yes to the things that you really want to do, they're joyful experiences. So that's what we're talking about today. Just really briefly, this is Adrienne, your mindfulness activist, author of Wellness on the Weekly, 52 fun prompts for mindfulness, movement, and a whole lot less stress. The companion book to that drops on tomorrow. If tomorrow's the 20th, that is. Today's the 20th. It dropped today. It's a digital only, so it's Wellness on the Weekly companion for anyone who wants to boost their mindfulness superpowers, and it's 16 practices, 12 different modalities, and it's completely digital so that you can have it with you on the go. On the go, right? So in your pocket, on your tablet, laptop, or wherever. So today, our mindful moment is setting boundaries. Hi, Bogdan. Thanks for joining. We're talking about boundaries. Boundaries in your personal relationships, your professional relationships, your family life, and even when you're developing habits. So my word since 2019 is no. And it keeps me from doing things I don't want to do, like serving on certain committees or going to certain events, or hanging out with people that are maybe drinking too much that day, and I don't want to drink too much. That's a boundary that I have to keep on going with. So let's just do some affirmations, right? What can I say yes to that I feel good about? Sometimes we say yes to everything or too many things, and we realize later maybe I shouldn't have said yes, or you don't even think about it. So what can you say yes to that is really going to be good for you? You determine good for you. If it's just going to make you happy, does it mean you're going to have fun for a little while? Does it mean you're going to learn something new? What can you say no to open up more room for things that you want to say yes? Lots of ways you can determine when to say no. It could just be your initial gut reaction. Somebody asks you to do something and you want to say no, but you're afraid to say no, and you say yes. If your gut tells you say no, listen to your gut. Be still. Listen to your instincts. I talked with today on Kate Pearl's the podcast that we recorded. She said sometimes her temperature goes up. when she knows that she's being asked to do something she doesn't want to do. So listen to your body when you know to say no. Another thing I've read, if you're not sure if you should say no, make your own criteria of why you say yes. Are you going to learn something? Is it going to be potential to have fun? Are you doing a favor for somebody that you really, really love, and this isn't an icky favor that you can do? Make your own criteria. Why would you say yes to something if it's not an immediate yes? Now, for me, that could be just about anything my husband asks me to do. Whether I want to do it or not, I'm going to probably say yes. But if there's some boundaries around it that I don't want to cross, I've learned to be able to say no and say it in a way that's like, you can do that, do that without me, but I don't want to be at a drinking party today, for example, because I know I have to do something tomorrow morning. It could be whatever I don't want to go because I know that's going to make me stay out later tonight and I have to get up tomorrow. But sweetie, you go have a good time. So learn to say no and know why you're saying no. And equally important, know why you're saying yes. So that's our little mindfulness moment about boundaries. Knowing when to say yes and knowing when to say no. No has been my word since 2019. It doesn't mean that it always comes easily to me to say. And sometimes I forget to say no. But I'm more aware. In the times that I do say no, 9 times out of 10, nobody cares. Nobody cares. It's only maybe, not even maybe 1 in 100 times somebody will be, surprised or disappointed. But nobody, they're like, okay, yeah. You decide if you want to give a reason. You can just say, no, it doesn't feel good for me today. Hey, I see my girl Kate Pearl is here, and we had a fantastic podcast discussion. Part of it, it'll be coming out soon. Kate Pearl, my girl in the UK, is dropping, all the knowledge, and we're talking in our season of healing racial trauma. So today during our conversation, one thing that came up, my mindfulness bit at the end was a meditation. And part of it was setting boundaries. So I'm outside after a meeting, and I think about this. After this meeting I was on, it was longer than I intended, but it was a joyful meeting for me because this was a wholehearted, enthusiastic yes that I was able to say yes to. And this is even in my body framework when I said I am overextended. I'm not doing any other thing. I'm trying to cut things down. But I was asked to advise this committee. And when I was told, and first of all, the 2 people who asked me, I would rarely say no to them. They're adored colleagues that have done nothing but support me. They do fantastic work. 2 women. I'm all about the sisterhood. So I'm inclined to say yes. And I said, I'm inclined to say yes, but tell me exactly what it is because I don't want to overcommit and let you down. So that's being honest. And they say, oh no, just as an advisory role because this, and you'll be working with this person, and this person. So let me see, I knew very well 3 out of the 5 people I'd be working with. 1 I kind of knew and was looking forward to getting to know her better. And another guy, knew him by reputation and is thrilled to work with him. And it's been a great decision. So know your why when you say yes and know your why when you say no. That's my message for today. So I just, I'm going to see if I can get Kate Pearl on here. If she's got a minute to elaborate. I don't know. I'm new to lives. So thanks for go live. Yes. Can I invite her? What do I do?
Hey.
Oh, you're there. I did.
Come on. I am on.
Yeah. So did you want to add in? Because that conversation we had today really, you see, it stuck with me.
Yes. And that's a resounding big yes, because it's still with me as well.
And I don't want to give away or too much of a preview, but we did talk about boundaries. And I just thought for a moment, a mindful moment that we can, just talk about boundaries and why they're important. And I gave an example of today. Yeah, I was in this meeting and I didn't think I would join this committee because it was going to be outside of what I said I would do. But the 2 people who asked me meant a lot to me. I already said, I don't want to do anything that's going to take too much time. And then when they told me what it was and who I'd be working with, it was easy to say yes. Because I remember we discussed earlier, how do you know when to say yes or no?
Yeah.
So that was a realization for me when I got off this meeting that went longer than I thought. And I thought, you know what? We're having a good time. I don't care that I made the right decision being with these people.
Yeah.
What have you had to set a boundary today or say yes to anything today?
Well, so I just got an offer of a job, and that was a flat yes. We discussed it earlier. I was waiting for the call. Yes.
Yay, congratulations.
So that was a straight yes. Yes, because they wanted to offer me, but she said if I'm still interested. I was like, hell yes.
Congratulations. Well done, you. Now,
Yeah.
do you call that a manifestation? Like, how much did you put into getting this job? Like,
you know what? Loads. It's been I'm just trying to like think of the blueprint, as it were. But I mean, I put loads into getting this job, and I'm a pretty vivid dreamer as well. I visualize a lot, and I kind of acted as if, for the most part, I knew that call was coming in. I did.
no, I love that. And you hear that from really high level athletes. I was listening to something, and it was his example. Michael Phelps, he won. He was an Olympian swimmer, and he had this. His trainer said, "Put the tape on," and in the tape, he could see everything, like his whole day, up into winning the race. Like what he ate, how he exercised, and the thing was, his routine was steadfast. He had a steadfast routine. And everything, like how many strokes it was going to take him before he hit the wall and turned around, all the way till he won. And that was his visualization.
Yeah, I'm big on that, and it's a practice. Yeah, it's one I learned in recent years, and I've tried it on all kinds of things. And this is one example. So many things, or just things I'm doing daily now. I kind of. What's the word? I don't know if it's future casting, but I saw it in my mind or in my dreams.
Yeah, I don't know what. That's interesting that you say, because I can have that experience, and I don't know if I'm psychic. Not like psychic, like I can predict anything, but I think we all have that ability.
Yeah.
To, as you say, visualize, dream. My grandmother was a big one. What'd you dream last night, baby? Wanted to know. I could tell you what your dreams meant, but to have those dreams when you're awake. Like, this is my future self. This is what I'm going to be doing. It's so powerful. I'm so happy for you, because we were just talking about that. You're like, I'll know in a couple days.
Yeah. I'm so glad you invited me on. And I was hearing what you were saying about that meeting, and just so thrilled for you after, we spoke earlier and did the podcast episode. So, yeah, big yeses from both of us today, yes?
And I started off my day with you. So maybe, so that wasn't a positive thing. We always talk about heavy stuff. We ended with we always try to end, we end with the mindfulness thing that we always hope will be uplifting. And you had already said, I'm going to hear, I could tell you were confident, but I didn't realize you had visualized. I love that for you.
Yes.
I believe in manifestation things. Like, I'm new to this. And I did a little research, and I'm like, oh, people talk about manifesting stuff all the time. But the first time that I can say I was consciously aware of it is when I knew my mom wasn't going to be with us much longer. She was 94. I swear, we're going to get her to 95, like we got daddy. But it became apparent like November or the end of last year. And my mom was the type that gently but persistently prodded me to, just do your best. So she was like, when are you going to get your PhD? Because she had one, like it was easy, when you going to write a book? Because she did that, like it's easy. But so never like that pressure to like, you got to do this. But saying it so casually, like, I did it, you could do it, it's fun. When are you going? So I said, I can't get that PhD before we lose her, but I can write that book.
You wrote the book.
Where I manifested that. Because my husband was like, how did you do that? I was like, I don't know. This was like an out of body thing. I just know I said, I got to get this in mommy's hands. So
and you did.
And I could see it happening, and me putting it, so I could visualize. So that to me is the first time I've been aware that you can actually manifest stuff. You hear people, I manifested. Oh, what was it? Jim Carrey. What did I say? Wrote $1 million check to him. Like, did you know that story? Like,
it's a very famous story. Yeah.
I'm like, that it sounds so corny, or he just says that in interviews, or
and he wrote that. He had absolutely nothing to his name. I think that's what makes it even more famous. Very humble beginnings, and he manifested that shit. And
he manifested
we're so magical like that. I think everyone's got the ability to do it.
You know who's done it? Okay, what's her name? It's anxiety. What's that singer?
Oh,
My
is
anxiety.
it Dishi? Dishi? Is that how it said? Dishi?
She manifested because if you go back, I've seen a little of her videos on YouTube from way back, and she's like, I'm nobody. I don't know when I'm gonna make it one day, and I'm just gonna keep doing my thing. And dang it, if she didn't,
She did the shit out of it. Yeah.
it was like a #1 song. So it's
Yeah.
not like you have to be. And I use these people like Jim Carrey, who you just said, I'm so old, I can't be current with the youth. I know my anxiety. And Michael Phelps, we don't have to be on that level to manifest
No,
stuff
no.
in our ordinary lives. You can manifest a
Absolutely.
dog, I can manifest a book.
Yeah, everyday people doing seemingly everyday things can manifest all kinds of magic. And well, we've talked before as well. I like my journal, and I think they actually have a term for this, scripting. I think that's actually what I'm doing is scripting as well. And it's I do it a lot. But every time I'm sort of getting myself geared up for something big, I feel like in a lot of ways I scripted and manifest my ways onto your podcast. I know you rocked up in my inbox, but I've been dreaming up stuff for years.
I know, and I was started off like, who's going to go on TikTok? I'm too old. What's going on with that? And
Yeah.
somehow you popped up in my feed, and I was like, this sister's on fire. What is she
We
talking about?
manifested each other.
And I was like, she's consistency. I was like, dang, it's like that in the UK. I know, lived there for 4 years. And she's trying to bring the healing. Because that's the thing. It's not like you're just bitching or saying, this is how it is. And we're tired of this. You're like, and I want you to understand it's not in your head. And let's heal. There's some things that you can do. I love that you bring up journaling.
Yes.
Like, I have to look and see, but I think over 2,000 day gratitude journaling habit. I use this app. I think it's called Gratitude Journal. I mean, I love a book to write. I've got so many journals going, but I'm so much, or have been so much kind of on the move, being a long distance caregiver and just being married to a military guy who's retired now. So having something on my phone and building that gratitude muscle.
Yeah.
Makes a huge difference.
It's a big one. It's a big one, and it can be tough. But I'm grateful for the smallest things. I don't. Someone else might think it's mediocre, but for me, and I speak it like I'm grateful. One of the first things every morning before a complaint even lodges completely, because that can happen. That's everybody, I think. But I've got 3 things I'm grateful for. If I got out of bed, that means I could exercise a limb enough to do that. I'm breathing in and out. I got to see another one. Yeah. And just, gratitude it's a big one. It's an amplifier. And the more of that.
You were in a comfortable bed with the roof. And here's the thing. You can't take that for granted. Safe housing. A lot of people don't have that. It sounds like something your mother used to say. Oh, the people start. It's like it's happening in your own country.
Yeah, 100%.
People living rough.
Yeah.
People,
it wasn't quite streets, but I've been homeless, so I know what it's like to be without as well. But it's remain grateful no matter what.
No matter what, and that can be a tough lesson because I shouldn't say a tough lesson, but a tough thing to do. But once you can get past that and be grateful for, as you say, just waking up. If there was a while there I was going through, gosh, and this happened just recently. Guy 1 year younger than me just didn't wait. I don't know how he died. Excuse me. But I've had friends who just didn't wake up. Yeah. The physical, they had a heart problem nobody knew until they collapsed. The car accident, even the murder, and you just take for granted that it's trite. Today's not given, but you're grateful for your day so much, not for you, but the effect it has on the people who love you.
Yes. Exactly that.
What was something happening to you due to your family, So I'm grateful for that. Even if I'm not having my best day, it's like, well, it's okay. We're not allowed, it's okay if we don't have a good day.
Yeah, exactly.
You have people who, care about you and who you matter to.
Yeah.
I can lose sight of that sometimes.
Yeah. I think that's it's a human thing to do, but.
Now that I'm an adult orphan, I have to remember, okay, my parents don't need me, but there are other people who love me too.
And then even when certain people don't necessarily need you the same way, like for me, for my kids, for example, getting older, and I had a moment or two, but it's not that they don't need you; they just need you in different ways.
And it takes an adjustment.
Yeah,
An adjustment. So I'm gonna, you know what? I said I wasn't gonna be on here that long. How's the weather? Tell me. Look, this is my outside.
Oh, it is beautiful. Let me show you. I want to open my back door.
Yeah, that's my outside.
Absolutely gorgeous. Hold on.
Like, yeah, in England, if you're in Sweden, if it's nice, you got the windows open, or it's
See that?
gorgeous. Yeah.
Isn't that stunning? Let me show you the blue sky over there.
Oh, it's gorge.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, look at mine. Your sky is better than mine. Your sky.
Oh, look at that sunshine, though.
Well, we got the sunshine. Like I said,
Yes.
you're like, let me come out. But I've got allergy. I'm in allergy season.
Oh, bless
Got the
you.
local honey. There's a beekeeper not too far from me, and I can't tell if I've got what I'm eating is his local honey because I try to keep some because it's like medicine. Take a little bit of the local. I found because I didn't grow up with pollen allergies, and I didn't have till maybe a few years ago.
Oh, so they just set in a bit later on.
So someone said eat the local honey and it works, but I'm not sure I have the local honey, so I just need to go. And I don't know. Okay.
Need to go sourcing.
Well, yeah, I don't know if you watched Meghan Markle thing, but I did watch the one where she made candles from her honey from the bee thing, and I'm going to ask him, do you sell your bee wax?
Oh, yes.
He's a local honey guy. What does he do with it? He might have it.
It's probably around somewhere.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, why not? If I'm going to go buy the local honey, I want to buy a few jars.
Yeah.
And to see, do you have any bee wax? So keep the local merchants alive.
Yeah. Support local, 100.
Do you have markets where you are?
I've got a few towns down, but I still haven't. I'm quite new to the area, so I haven't actually gone to them yet. But I've heard there's a few decent ones around, so I will definitely be checking them out at the nearest opportunity.
Well, I look forward to more lives with you, but also seeing how you learn your new environment. I do have to remember you're in a new, so you have this exciting summer.
Yes.
Getting to know the neighborhood and your neighbors.
Yeah.
Which is exciting.
It is exciting. And then little by little, at home, pieces of furniture are coming in here, new things are coming in there. So we've rebuilt from, my kids and I came up with 4 suitcases and absolutely nothing else. So the rebuild's amazing.
Well, you know what? That sounds like something else that you manifested.
Yes, yeah. And it's a big house. I always wanted to give them one of those. So, yay.
You know what I mean? So, let the furniture come in bit by bit.
Yeah.
Piece by piece, you're getting to make exactly what you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, that's
all very much manifested. Very exciting, yes.
Okay, so we got a lot of manifesting to do this year, and I'm looking forward to that. I have a manifestation partner.
Yes. Party on.
Because you do have to surround yourself with other people that want you. Some of these naysayers, why are you doing that? You can't do that. That's never going to work.
Exactly. You've got to find your tribe.
What if I your tribe? I'm so glad I found you.
Yay!
You're on with me.
And vice versa.
Yeah, so I'll probably be next after we record next time because I'm going to have something else inspirational. So I'll make sure I let you know that in advance.
Please do. Please do. Oh, so lovely to see you. Thanks for letting me join you live.
Anytime, love. Thank you.
See ya.
Yeah. Kay's going and I'm just going to say goodbye. So let me just turn off.